is Marcy with Private Banking Concepts. I want to tell you a little bit about a dream that I had, but first of all, there's some words that I like to repeat to myself that I read a long time ago in a book, and it goes kind of like this: whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, you can achieve. And I remembered those words because they were important to me. I've had to really work hard in life, and sometimes I feel like life has been hard on me. But I just knew that whatever I could conceive and believe, I truly can achieve. And I really wanted to recognize that and be determined in everything I do. I can be somewhat competitive, but I also know that if I just stay the course, I will achieve what it is that I'm looking to achieve. A few years ago, I had a goal, and that was to climb a mountain. I get to live in the most beautiful place in the world. I live in a small rural mountain town, and it's just a lovely village. It's a place where my backyard is truly my playground. I have loved to hike ever since I was little, and I've always said that I may not be good at a lot, but there is one thing I'm very good at, and that is hiking, and I do love it. So whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, I had a dream board. I have a dream board, and on that dream board I had a specific mountain that I really wanted to attain the summit. So a girlfriend, she told me one day on her dream board was something similar, not the same mountain, but something similar. So we decided a year in advance to find out a little bit about this mountain and how we could climb it and summit it together. And so we started to read books. We started to learn about the country that the mountain is in. We started learning how far it would be to fly there, the costs. We actually looked up people who've actually been they've actually been to the summit, which is where we wanted to achieve. So as we began to, as our year began and we began to research this mountain, I really wanted to find out, what does it look like? I really wanted a visual of what the ground looked like, what the terrain looked like. I wanted to talk to people who had been where I am, but had attained what I was looking to attain. And so I really was so excited to begin my training. I would get up regularly and run and walk. I would try and be outside when it was super cold and super windy. Where I live, we get to experience super windy. So as we began to realize what some of those elements would be like, I wanted to know what it would be like on the side of a mountain for days and not be able to come back in. So again, I just continued to tell myself, I will summit that mountain. Whatever the mind of man can achieve and bring itself to believe, I can achieve. So as the time approached, we had done so much research. We had read, we had really found out what we needed to know from this side, but not from the climbing side. So first of all, I have to tell you a little piece of this story. I'm very fearful of flying. I'm getting better, but I'm very fearful of flying, and I was going to be flying for 19 hours to my location. So that was my first hurdle. I really had to talk myself through that hurdle. The second hurdle was I was going to a country where I didn't speak the language, and I was very concerned about that. We were going to get to this country in the middle of the night. But again, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, if I wanted to achieve this goal, this dream, I was going to have to get somewhat uncomfortable. So again, we make it to our destination, and our porters are there to greet us. And they go, for 2 days, they go over what we are going to need to be prepared for. They had actually been where we want to go. They have experienced so many different experiences. These two gentlemen that took us to the top of the mountain, they actually climb this mountain 2 and 3 times a month. So they were actually aware of the terrain, the weather, the people around us, the food, what it might do to us. So I just want to say, if you have a big dream, find somebody who's been where you are, but has achieved what it is you want to achieve. So again, I'll just shorten the story a little bit. It was a long, grueling few days on the side of a mountain. I actually summited Mount Kilimanjaro, and I just was so elated when I made it at 6:06 in the morning. The sun actually rose up below me, and I actually had the realization that I am where airplanes fly. I had made the summit. My determination, even through all of my fears, my determination got me there. And the only thing that I want to share, a little analogy, is I climbed a mountain, and sometimes our finances seem like a mountain. We've been taught or trained to do one thing, but then it doesn't come to pass. We don't actually reach our summit. We don't actually get to where it is we want to go. So we actually feel like we failed at that summit. And as much as I succeeded, as much as I summited that mountain, I just want to encourage you that there is a concept out there. There is a tool for you to use to guide you to your summit when it comes to your finances. In your finances today, but also for your children's finances and your grandchildren's finance. The Wealth Legacy is such an amazing gift to share to your family, and we just want to be there to hold your hand and walk you to your summit. So give us a call. We'd love to chat.